What was that one command again? When working with Bash or a ZSH terminal, we tend to repeat a lot of commands that we've used before. But what happens when you forget the full command that you need to enter? In this video, I'm going to help you go through several options for you to easily type out a full command, even if you only remember a single letter. So let's jump into a terminal session on your Raspberry Pi, or you can just SSH into it. So what if you forget that one command you used before to open the Raspberry Pi configuration screen? No worries. Let's press Ctrl+R. This opens up the reverse-i-search for any command that you've used before. If you partially type it in here, boom. Chances are you'll probably just run into it depending on how close you are while searching for it. Let's try another situation. This time you remember the command, but you have no idea what options or parameters that you need to use. In this case, I want to use grep to search for a string from a file, but I want the results to stand out by displaying the matching string in a different color. So in this case, I try to type out the rest of the command from what I remember, and there you go. Reverse-i-search works amazingly, not just for basic commands, but also for super long ones with various options. But wait, searching for commands from our history does make it easier. But what if we have no idea what it starts with or contains at all? Don't worry. If you're digging in the dark, there's another way to go about doing this. So if you're using Bash, you can type in the following sudo nano command. Or if you're using ZSH like I am, you should modify the .zsh_history file instead. You'll get an entire history of all the commands that you've used in the past. Within the nano text editor, you can try to use the search tool using Ctrl+W. Type in what you can and it'll start navigating to each matching line. So at this point, if you still haven't managed to find the command that you've used in the past, there's good news and bad news. The bad news? It might mean that the command was used a long time ago, so it might have been cleared out from history. The good news though is you can still set yourself up for success in the future. You can increase the size of how many commands are being saved in history. To do this, just use sudo nano to make changes to the .bashrc or .zhrc file, depending on whether you're using Bash or ZSH. And then after that, use Ctrl+W to search for HISTSIZE or HISTFILESIZE. You'll see two different variables that match. HISTSIZE is the maximum number of lines that can be stored in memory for a Bash or ZSH session. And then HISTFILESIZE is the maximum number of lines that can be written to the history file that we just opened earlier. So depending on how far back you're willing to store your history, just change these variables and then save the file by hitting Ctrl+X followed by Y and then enter. So again, definitely become best friends with the reverse-i-search, because for the most part, practically speaking, you'll be relying on it the most, since the other options for digging into history are only for rare cases when you absolutely cannot trace down your command. Thanks for watching, and for more on Raspberry Pi, please consider subscribing to this channel.